Jeez, okay. Live. I forgot to add myself to the stream here. I try to do this thing solo, and next thing you know, I'm screwing everything up. So before we get into it, Greg was gone today, so I put up the solo thing, but I did put a fake Greg video loop with the green screen just to make it feel like I'm not alone, because I just felt a little awkward. So as I'm sitting here alone, I can see the screen. It makes me feel like I've got some help here. So who do we have in the chat already? We've got John Matlick, what's happening? Troy from Baker Drinks, RJ the Fed, Lorv, Reverend, Proof, Rusty J, Lugnuts is the full name. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, talking amongst themselves. Mikey Likey Whiskey, Steve Joes, what's happening? RJ the Fed, Chris Jenkins. Let's see, have I missed anybody? I don't think so. All right. I don't know, like I saw Greg was in the chat, so somebody said Greg's looking good. So I don't know if Greg is still here or not. But anyway, so here's the plan for tonight. And I'll probably re-announce this later on when some more people get into the chat. But if you're not familiar with our Patreon, I do a thing on there. I try to do it once a week. Sometimes it's maybe once every 2 weeks, but I'm going to try doing it once a week, where I do a blending video, and I'll take the little wheel, the spinner wheel, and I have my entire whiskey collection uploaded to this wheel, and I spin the wheel to see which whiskeys I'm going to blend. So I make one wheel that has like a quantity on it, 2, 3, or 4, spin that to find out how many, and then I do the wheel to find out which bourbon's going to blend. So I kind of figured tonight, it's usually a Patreon only thing, but since I'm by myself here, I didn't really know what else to do. So I'm going to go with the blending video here. So I do have a little bit of bourbon in the glass before I bring out the bottles that are going to be blended. This is actually Evan Williams, just a regular Evan Williams 86. A long time ago, God, probably like over a year ago now, Greg and I did a video where we took one of those barrel aging staves that you can buy at the store or off of Amazon and put it into a bottle of Evan Williams and let it sit for like a month. And now it's been sitting for, I don't know, damn near a year, I guess. So it's a little bit darker than normal Evan Williams. There's a bottle. Can you hand me the bottle of Evan Williams? Thank you. So the regular bottle of Evan Williams, and then you can see, you probably can't see the wood spire in there, but it's in there. So I'm going to have a sip of this just as a control bourbon before getting into the blending video. Mike Meyer is in the house. Wolf E is in the house. Did you get a life-size cutout of Greg? No, I've just got him like video green screened into the stream here. So yeah, that's actually not bad. I'm getting kind of toasted barrel vibes off of this. So I guess when you just put a barrel aging stave into already aged whiskey, it comes out as a toasted barrel. So that's pretty cool. I do have some clips as well. Lord Reverend with the super chat. Thanks very much. That's awesome. Chris Jenkins says the blending videos are awesome. Chris Jenkins, Patreon supporter. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm going to get into that at some point here. I'm kind of waiting to see if I'm probably not going to get as many people in the live stream tonight with Greg not being here, because let's face it, he is the draw of the bourbon note. But one of the things that I am going to talk about a little bit here is I'm still kind of on the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923 kick. For those of you that saw our stream last week, we talked about how we kind of got shredded in the comments because everybody is just losing their minds over Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923. Like, it's God's gift to bourbon right now. And it's great, but we said we really liked it, and it kind of has a little bitterness to it, and people really shredded us. So I wanted to check in with a couple of other channels. I know there's a bunch of other channels that are going live tonight as we speak to review and give their thoughts on Elijah Craig's C923. And we have one right now. We're just going to jump in, check in, see what kind of reviews people are doing of this this new whiskey that everybody's raving about. Okay. Person obviously seems to be a fan of it. So we'll be checking in periodically with a bunch of other channels to see what they've got going on tonight. But let's get into the blend, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. Truth be told, I did already film or screen record the spinning wheel for the bottles just so I didn't have to get up and go downstairs to get them. So I have them here, but just to give you guys all a kind of an idea of what the show is like, the blending show, here's a 1-minute clip of how many bottles we're doing and which ones we're doing. This is for the blend, and this will give me time to get set up, so check this out. All right, this is an exciting one. So that's how this show on Patreon normally works. Again, for those of you just joining us, we're doing what is usually a Patreon-only thing. It's a blending video where we pick bourbons off the wheel, make a blend out of them. So this is exciting because I like all of these, and it doesn't always turn out that way. So I'm going to get this poured. This is a fresh bottle that I'm opening up just for this blend. Can you get the plastic off of that? These holograms nowadays are just amazing. Thank you. Okay, so I suppose it doesn't matter where I start. Oh, you going to join in the blend, hologram Greg?
Hey everybody, it's Greg.
And you guys totally bought that.
You totally
idiots.
Bought it. Idiots. I mean, honestly, you can fool anybody on the internet.
Yeah. So, truth be told, this actually was going to be a solo live.
It was, and a few minutes ago my calendar opened up, and so I decided to surprise Ben. He honestly didn't know I was going to be here until just a couple minutes ago, and I thought, well, I'll just sit here and be quiet, let him do his thing.
And he train wrecked my entire plan tonight of having a solo live stream.
Do
you want to water that?
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're blending the heck out of it.
So we're going to do half-ounce pours of each one of these.
Half ounce, you said?
Yeah, so we'll end up with a 2-ounce pour here.
So, okay, I was pretending to be catatonic, which I think is feline. I don't know what that means. So I actually don't know what's in this blend. I was trying not to pay attention. That's a great bourbon. That's one of my favorites. Elijah Craig, they don't do very good stuff, from what I hear, if you watch our channel.
Yeah. We love Elijah Craig.
Yeah, I think
but God forbid you say that C923
this is such a great one. Lux Row
is a tad bit oaky.
Ezra Brooks Castrick. We absolutely love that one. What's this? Stellum. Like I don't think Stellum's ever made anything like a bad bourbon. You know, I used to say that about Elijah Craig, but I don't anymore. Interestingly enough, we got 2 bourbons and 2 ryes, and I've never had that in any of these blending videos before. Well, so like I think all 4 of these could be great. Are great. Like, what's better than great? I don't know. I mean, there's a... Oh, whoops. That's fine. It's fine. You're getting a little more than... So you got like 50%, 50%, 50%, 55%. Well, there's only 50. Of each of that. Yeah. Hey, by the way, just once again, I did have a clip here that I wanted to share with you guys. Baker Drinks finally showed up. Nice. We've been waiting. So I do have a clip of an actual episode of this show, just so you know what it kind of normally looks like, because we're doing it a little bit different tonight. But here's a clip of what our normal
blending videos are.
Your normal video, because I've never participated in one before.
Yeah, so here's the clip.
Okay.
So,
what was that monkey?
all right, the timer is on 11 minutes 40 seconds. In the next 30 seconds, if anybody can tell me what that's from, not what movie it's from, but why that's an inside joke with that being a clip, I'll send you samples.
Mike,
I'll send you a sample of this blend.
Mike,
30
I appreciate
seconds.
your math skills. And Bourbon School?
Bourbon School's here.
You guys are going to have to go back to watch the beginning. Where
Baker
we worked
Drinks is
really hard
here.
on the intro for this video. We put in at least 20 seconds of thought.
Troy has my reminder.
Oh, Mac and Me.
Right, that's the movie, but why is it, what's the inside joke of that being the clip?
The wheelchair falling off a cliff?
Yeah, just why that scene being a...
Well, normally our show goes over a cliff.
Well, that's true. I think it already has. Major G is in the house. What's happening, Major? Mystery Science Theater? Nope, that's not it. So we've already gone over the 30 seconds. We'll give it another 30 seconds. For a sample of this blend, what is the inside joke with the Mac and Me clip? Let's see. Nobody has gotten it. It's freaking hilarious.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
I haven't either.
I kind of recognize that alien, or is he an alien or a monkey or
Alien.
hairless?
Hairless monkey.
I don't know.
Hatfield Barbecue is in the house. I think you already said that. What's happening?
So what is up?
All right. This smells actually pretty good.
Thank you.
Hey, I have not seen Sugar Kitty yet, and that's odd for him to be late. Can somebody go check on him and just make sure he's doing all right? With that amount of alcohol, I'm sure it'll make you fall. Yeah, that's probably true. RJ the Fed is in the house. Go subscribe to RJ the Fed, Bourbon School, Baker Drinks. Mods, if you guys want to throw some links in, that'd be great. Getting almost a Toasted Barrel vibe off of this.
Definitely getting the marshmallowy graham cracker thing that is being supplied by whom? It's not a Four Roses profile.
I don't know which one of these would be bringing that. So,
that's a funny callback from Lugnut.
Where is Greg falling in the water in the basement?
Well, yeah, he definitely thinks I'm the one in the wheelchair, which...
Yeah.
It seems reasonable.
Hatfield says, never seen the movie, but seen the clip a dozen times. So, here's the question. Where have you seen that clip?
Oh. I've never seen the clip. I actually didn't know that clip.
All right, I'm going to give this a whirl here. Lloyd Smith, the guy that there you go, Lloyd Smith, the guy that plays Ant-Man, shows that clip every time he goes and sees that redheaded comedian who used to have a late night talk show. That is absolutely right, Lloyd Smith. Send your address to, if you want a sample of this blend, send your address to thebourbonnote@gmail.com. We went over the time limit there, but...
No, that's fine.
So the inside joke is Paul Rudd, the guy who plays Ant-Man, among other things.
Okay.
For like the last literally like 20 years, every time he goes on Conan to promote a movie, he says he brought a clip, as they typically do on talk shows, and every single time he plays that particular Mac and Me clip for whatever reason. And he's been doing it for like 20 years. And how he sits there with a straight face, like the 30th time he's done this to Conan, you know? It's like, okay. And then finally it got to the point like 15 years into it, Conan's like, all right, he brought a clip because he knows it's going to be that.
Huh.
Yeah, there's like you can find videos of
Conan watching that clip.
yeah, like the compilation of every time he's done it. It's hilarious.
So I still don't understand the reference. Is it because you have red hair, or is it...
No, he said the redheaded comedian. He's talking about Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, but Ben's not funny.
No, we're not talking about me. We're talking about Conan, but I totally agree with you. So let's get into this. This is...
Yeah, this is 4 great whiskeys. Mm-hmm. 2 of which occasionally pretend to be bourbons.
I'm definitely getting the rye. You got a high rye here. I don't know what the rye content is here.
Yep.
2 ryes.
Yep.
He's the Fredo of whiskey, reviewing 2 bottles at a time. Check him out. RJ the Fed. There you go.
Speaking of Whiskey Tube and other whiskey channels,
That's another problem. I just don't know pop culture. I don't know what Fredo is.
It's from the Godfather.
Is that a verb that is really inappropriate, or is that a noun?
It's somebody's name.
Oh, so a noun.
So I did say at the beginning.
If that's a verb, that sounds dirty.
I mean, you could turn it into a verb, I suppose. I said at the beginning that we are going to be checking in with some other Whiskey Tube channels.
Yeah, we have some other people who are reviewing our review of...
No, they're doing their own reviews. So what we're going to do is periodically, I know there's a lot of other Whiskey Tube channels that are live right now that are doing their review of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923, which is obviously the greatest whiskey on the planet according to Whiskey Tube. So let's check in. I just got word that there is another one that has just gone live. Let's check in and see what's happening.
Okay.
Wow, people are loving that bottle. People are just absolutely loving it.
Sponge enthusiast, Dave.
All right. Das Scoob, what's the estimated proof of the blend? Well,
it's
we've got 116 plus 94, so that's
200.
Like 212 or whatever. And then we got 120, so 332.
330 and 104.
And then 104, so we got
440.
There's a give or take 440 proof.
Yeah, so Brian,
where we're at.
I've seen definitely number 2. I don't know about number 1.
I feel like that deserves
That's
it.
what she said.
I feel like that works there. Oh, hey, by the way, I forgot to turn on the tunes here.
Oh.
You know, I do find when sometimes I rewatch these to see how the sound went and everything. I think having the music helps. That's 444 proof. Brian is on top of it.
Appreciate
Science and math. That's what we're all about here at the Bourbon Note.
That's right.
Yeah, this is a recommend for sure. And Lloyd, if you do want a sample of this,
okay, so a couple of you did the math, and I appreciate that. And I have a serious question. Does anybody believe these 4 bottles have ever been blended before in a ratio of 50, 50, 50, 50?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I honestly don't think so. We are drinking a whiskey, because there's some rye, that has never been tried by a single human being on the face of this planet.
Yeah. So if you have all 4 of these, give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
It's really good. It's definitely rye forward. I don't know if it came up with like an amazing...
Nothing real specific,
yeah.
But it's very, very nice. But each individually, these are also really good.
Yeah, for sure. Mike Meyer says he hasn't found the C923.
Don't even look for it.
Spirits in Melrose. Mike, have you been to Spirits yet? Because I remember you said you have gone by there so many times on your way up to like Alexandria or something like that.
I think he lives on the other direction.
No, so he goes up.
He drives that way, but it's a bit of a hike for him.
Lord Reverend Proof Rusty J Lugnuts. That's inaccurate math.
Yeah.
Half this, half this, half this, half this. I stand by that.
You're new here, and we'll give you a little bit of a break, but please catch on.
Did he mention if he's from Sacramento or not?
He obviously he's doing math like he's from Sacramento.
Oh, hey-oh. Shots fired. Do I have a... Nope, I don't have it. Greg's over here insulting people.
He's an asshole, sir.
Well, hello, musical bourbon drinkers. What's up, Ron? OG Brick is here.
Ron. Hey, Ron, seriously, you need to go back and watch the beginning of this video once it goes live, or not live.
You can do the replay.
Yeah, because it's pretty funny.
And
we haven't even made fun of Texas yet, so we're behind schedule.
Oh, you know what? That actually does remind me. I did have something that I wanted to share, and let me just see if I can do this conveniently. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so...
What are you doing?
I wanted to bring this up because this is on a serious note, okay? Halloween is coming up, and I know we all remember that kind of rumor back when you were a kid, you know, people putting like razor blades in candy bars, which obviously never happened.
I don't think it ever happened. It was a weird rumor, but
right.
Yeah, I've certainly heard it.
But, you know,
Don't do that if you're thinking of doing it. It's bad.
we do have a bit of a platform here in the sense that, these usually get watched by a couple hundred people. So I did want to bring up something kind of serious that happened last Halloween to a child in the neighborhood.
Seriously?
Yeah, and so I just want to let you guys know.
Those twins. Oh.
If you do have kids, please check their candy, because last year in our neighborhood, somebody attempted to put Texas whiskey into a candy bar, and a child ended up with this. And the last thing that we want to see is, a child being forced to drink dog shit dumpster juice whiskey.
Yeah,
and so just please make sure that you're checking the candy thoroughly.
Check their ID, make sure they're over 21, and let them make their own choice. And if they want to ruin their life with Texas whiskey, that's on them. But it needs to be a conscious decision.
When there's Balcones rye in there, so I mean, this was a particularly egregious.
Yeah,
I don't know what monster did this.
Yeah, that's horrendous.
Yeah, clearly somebody with no soul. So yeah, again, just please be aware of that stuff. Ron, here we go. Get that Texas with that early in life will ruin a bourbon fan for life. Yes, it would, and that's the main reason.
That's exactly the problem. Bourbon school, we're still looking to try a.
Oh, we should have. We've got two individual sets of Still Austin on the way. Yeah,
we have rumors that we have inbound whiskey.
According to Mr. Great Shot, we should have a set of samples Nancy Fraley picks.
And also
tomorrow.
The Flying Mustache said he's sending some.
Yeah. So he's getting those out in the mail too. So I have a feeling our next couple of live streams we may be doing.
Making fun of Texas whiskey?
Yeah, maybe. Or, well, according to everybody else, we'll be learning to like Texas
I guarantee I'll be making fun of Texas whiskey, because here's how it goes.
Okay.
Either Still Austin is bad, which is unlikely, I think, or how come everybody else can't figure it out? The wackos in Austin have figured it out.
I don't know.
So either way, that's going to be my party line.
At this point, I don't know how it can possibly be good.
No, I think so. I have very high expectations. I think it'll be good.
All right.
I still think everything else in the state is wacko.
But it's just. Speaking of weird stuff, if we get bored later on, I do have this. I got another one of those cans of Corsair. This is the dark rye. It's malted rye and chocolate rye.
Wow.
So we could get into that too. But okay, so what do you think of this? Like overall, do you like this, or do you like these all individual kind of better?
It's great, but there's nothing standing out as overly great. Mm-hmm. Like it's I don't know, I mean 440 proof and age is probably 23 year,
Oh, for sure, once you add them all up.
If you 80, 60, 50, 50, 50. So it's $742.
Yeah,
and 444
solid math
proof.
right there.
The reality is it should be good, and maybe it's a little bit below its price point, if I'm honest. But it is 3 liters.
I think you're off on that one.
You dumb bastard.
See, OG says
Who is this schmuck that keeps talking about John J. Bowman? Oh, that's one of those brands that just.
Where are we? I don't even see John.
It's
J.
OG.
Bowman. Oh, okay. OG, what's up, OG?
Yeah.
I have a batch 191 of Magnus Cigar Batch. You can
We have 187.
find tasting notes from each batch on their website. 191 Rock the Rick House. Well, I'm looking forward to whatever number is Bad Axe Bourbon. For those of you that don't know and haven't heard, the upcoming batch of Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend is being named after Bobby at Bad Axe Bourbon.
Well,
that's absolutely not a joke.
That's partially not true.
Okay, Greg's going to train wreck this.
Nope. Nancy Fraley lives in Northern California. And she's the one who came up with all of the blends, right?
Yeah.
She's the one doing all this awesome blending stuff in the entire industry with a bunch of different distilleries. Mm-hmm. She doesn't live that far from Bobby. She's watched his show a lot and actually joined in. She's watched our show a little bit, which is amazing. Thank you so much for the support. She called this most current Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend Bad Axe Blend or something like that. It's totally in reference to Bobby, but...
So what are you correcting me on? I don't know what I got wrong.
But she's the one that named it, not Bobby.
Yeah, no, I didn't say Bobby. No, I said it's being named out.
Oh, okay.
Crossfire recruiting is all up in the house.
You totally missed the beginning that was funny.
OG said you only tried it once. It's a single barrel. Don't knock it just yet. No, we both liked the John J. Bowman. It was just a little. It wasn't. Greg and I tend to both lean a little heavily into the sweeter bourbons.
And if you're a Patreon subscriber and you've watched tomorrow's video out early today,
it's supposed to.
We reference that. But no, so we both really like the John J. Bowman. You kind of said it maybe wasn't your typical profile.
Yeah,
and for me, it was more of like a once in a while you want to try something to branch out of that sweeter category. So definitely good. I mean, if it was around here, I'd certainly pick one up.
At a reasonable price, yeah.
Let's see. As soon as I open her this weekend, I'll tell you about the sample of it and my John J. Bowman. Sweet, that'd be awesome, man. All right. I'm sorry, guys. What is Crossfire Recruiting apologizing
Oh, she
for?
was late. So,
gotcha.
OG, I forgot to ask you this. How close are you to Chantilly?
Like Chantilly lace?
No, not like
face?
that. It's like Chantilly, Virginia, because I'm there occasionally, every few months.
Okay. Oh, that's where you go out.
Yeah, I go to Virginia occasionally to visit the company. And I'm in that kind of Northern Virginia.
Northern Virginia. See, Bourbon School says the Still Austin cast strength is great. My favorite that they have released, but curious about the Still Austin Red Corn. Okay, so Ron has always been on our side with trashing Texas whiskey, and he lives in Texas.
He lives
so
in
if
Houston,
he's saying that the Still Austin cast strength,
dog's breath.
yeah,
weather.
If he's saying that the Still Austin cast strength is great,
oh, I would trust him.
I'm a little bit inclined to believe him. Not that I don't believe other people, but other people that say it's great also like other Texas whiskey, which...
Yeah, there's some people pretend Garrison Brothers is tolerable, and that's just unacceptable to me.
Yeah, Garrison Brothers.
All right,
Balcones.
so we've had that, right? Isaac Bowman port finish.
I think you and I had a pour of that at a bar down at Jay's one night. I don't know what the hell we were doing down at Jay's.
Yeah, well, that was the...
It was the night I played down there?
Yeah, that's the only time I've been there.
Yeah, and you and I had a pour of that before the show.
So everything that's port finished, I tend to like. That really leans into my favorite kind of flavor profile. So it's hard to say I didn't like it because that's exactly what I like, you know?
Yeah, I like the port finish one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and speaking of liking bourbons, I am getting notified there is another channel going live right now that is doing their review.
The C923.
Yep, of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923.
Okay, and so we're just gonna jump into their live stream for just a second, let you see what they're saying.
See what they're saying, because people seem to be loving this bourbon.
Yeah.
All right.
And obviously we didn't, so we want to see what other people think, and maybe it was us. Maybe we just did not kind of have this level.
We said we loved it.
No,
but it was just off.
It was a little bit off for us, but some people seem to be a little bit more enthusiastic than us.
All right, let's drop in here and
so
see what's
here we go.
There seems to be a theme
with
with all these other reviewers. Everybody is just humping this bourbon.
You know, it's almost like everybody was given money from Elijah Craig except for us.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit disconcerting.
Let's clarify,
but
because
maybe not.
I did say I loved Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923. You said it was great, but there was something that was off-putting, bless its heart, about the finish.
I definitely feel it was different than every other Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that I've had, and it's not something I'm like in the mood for all the time. It was so dry on the finish. Like, it was just very dry.
Ooh, Jordan G. Welcome to the chat, Jordan G. New video, whiskey people pretend is tolerable. That's a great idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Assuming that's your video, or are you suggesting that for us?
Well, on the off chance that here's what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to take a picture of this chat, just so if we do make that video, we can credit Jordan G with the idea. I like that idea, man. That's great. Anybody, that should be something we do in live streams. We're like, okay, does anybody have an idea of like a cool list or something?
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
Why would that be a terrible idea?
So imagine you went into a really nice restaurant.
We don't have to do all of them.
Well, no, but so you walk into a really nice restaurant, okay? And the waiter comes up to you and you say, or the waiter says, do you have any suggestions of what we should make? Like, no. You're the one that chose to go there. You expect them to do the hard work. I think
every time you go to a restaurant, you suggest what they should make for you.
No,
you look at a list of possibilities and you say, I suggest you make me the country fried steak with hash browns.
Can you blend a little bit of this waffle thing that you have created with some fried chicken?
I'm not above doing this.
Like, that's just horrible. I want some intelligent person who's better at cooking than me to make those decisions.
So you're saying you're better than the audience at coming up with ideas for...
Well, I think it's on us to work harder and come up with ideas. Sometimes we succeed, Usually we fail.
You said that about Garrison Brothers suggesting for you. Oh, did we say that? Oh, well, look at that. You're right, Greg. The idea that he pitched to us was already one of our ideas, if I'm reading that correctly. I don't remember saying that. Let's see. What cigar pairs best with the Magnus cigar? I don't know a damn thing about... I smoke cigars, but I don't know anything about them.
So, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of regular cigars. Flavored cigars, where the outside has been dipped in, like, Irish cream or something like that, tend to be really, really good. But otherwise, they can't really give you suggestions. To be honest, I think most cigars taste the same. Or not the same, but they're all meh.
I think for someone like, or for people like us, cigars all probably taste the same in the way that bourbon, maybe when you're not into it, taste the same.
And I'm not saying they actually do taste the same. It's I don't know enough about cigars to be able to tell the nuance.
Yeah.
So it's me, not the cigar, but...
I've definitely found ones that I like and don't like in the sense that some of them are a little more bitter, but I really don't notice the huge nuance. Yeah. But I found a brand that I really like, actually. Mm-hmm. And what I'll usually do is on a weekend, instead of buying like a normal size cigar, I buy 2 small ones. So I smoke one on Friday and one on Saturday. So it's like 1 cigar's worth for the weekend.
Just leave it alone.
Instead of smoking 2 cigars.
Just go with what you're familiar with. Okay, maybe I won't leave it alone.
Just go with the smaller ones. I get it.
So Eileen's Dream from CAO is my go-to. Absolutely. I didn't want to say that, but it is. Eileen's Dream, which is kind of the Irish cream, Irish kind of flavor profile. It's flavored.
Okay.
CAO is a little bit expensive. But
I've had those before.
Really good.
We definitely... We've smoked a handful of cigars out in the garage. You're not really doing that quite so much anymore, but...
Sure hope Steve is talking about a cigar.
Not a cigar guy. Smoked a Cuban once. It almost killed me. I'm going to go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. OG Brick, it's that classic cherry pipe tobacco you might remember from when you were a child.
So that's the black... Is it Blackwoods? Those are those old cigars... Well, 20 years ago when I was in the Air Force. Backwoods. So when I was in the Air Force 20-something years ago, they came in a pouch, but they were cigars, but they're like loosely rolled cigars, and it's pipe tobacco, and they have a cherry flavor. Very good.
My grandfather always kept like a tobacco pipe, not like a jar, but it was like a thing specifically for keeping tobacco.
Oh, wow.
Like it was almost kind of like one of those ice things, when you get the little top that comes off, but it was insulated and sealed, and he kept that near the fireplace in the basement where his pipe was.
Sure.
And I used to always go in there and smell the tobacco because I love the smell of pipe tobacco.
Pipe tobacco is great. And that's why 2 years ago when we first started this channel, 2.5 years ago, we investigated how to smoke a pipe, and it just didn't work for me.
Major G, I smoked a chicken one time. It took a lot of papers. I love it. Bourbon School, we've got a place up in Buffalo that has one called the Peanut Butter Rocket Burger, and it's phenomenal. Peanut butter, bacon, cheese, bacon, jam, and jalapeno corn.
Sounds like a great burger. Lord. And by the way, he's in the other Buffalo.
Yeah.
The East Coast one.
And Brian, I will be at some point sending you and Lauren some peanut butter, per my comment on your video yesterday.
I didn't see the most recent video.
Lauren made a comment that she loves peanut butter, and she was getting a peanut butter note off of whiskey.
Okay.
There's a place in Minneapolis called Hell's Kitchen. Have you been there before?
I've been to a Hell's Kitchen, but it was on a boat.
The different one. Oh. They make their own house-made peanut butter.
You know they use peanuts
and
for
it
that,
is
right?
freaking bonkers.
Really?
It's so good. Huh. It's chunky, but it's almost like shredded and smashed peanuts, and to the point that the peanut butter is just like completely textured. It's not like smooth with chunks of peanut.
Yeah.
Like it's a textured. It's so good. It's unbelievably good.
Well, I am an absolute peanut butter enthusiast.
Really?
I really am.
Oh, well, then next time I'm down in Minneapolis,
That could be one of my favorite foods, and I don't think it's a condiment. It's actually a food.
Then you definitely have to get a hold of some of this. It's bananas. It's so good.
In our house right now, literally, we have 4 different styles of peanut butter.
Oh. Well, then, You've got peanut butter coming your way as well. So, I am finished with the blend here. I'm on the fence. Do I just have a pour of one of these two, or one of these four, individually?
Math is hard,
or do we crack open that weird rye?
That weird rye.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the weird rye is.
It's this one.
Oh, that.
The one that you get in the can.
That's what she said.
So the bad news about how many milliliters is that can there?
More than it needs to be for a sampler.
Yeah.
100 mil.
So that means 50 mils each, which is a decent pour. And
It's 2 airplane bottles, 2 mini bottles. A mini bottle is 50 mil.
How big is the airplane?
Ounce and a half. How big is the ear? Yeah. I'll have to.
I'm a peanut butter. Lugnut is a peanut butter enthusiast. We should start a club.
Just got a 35 number bucket for my
Pound.
birthday last year. What's a 35 number?
Pound. 35-pound bucket.
Oh, 35. God, I'm an idiot.
You dumb bastard.
So Lugnut, like, in all seriousness, is it like a Costco, just a big bucket of Skippy or Jif or something, or is it more interesting than that? Not that there's anything wrong with that. We actually have both of those in the kitchen right now.
All right, so I am getting notification that in my ear here that we do have another whiskey channel going live to review the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923.
Okay.
And as you all well know, everybody's loving this bottle, so let's check in, see what this next channel is saying about the C923. Let's take a look. Yeah, there we go.
I do appreciate how all these channels are at least hiding their face when they're inappropriate with the bottle.
That's right. Yeah, well, it's shame really.
Yeah, shame. Yeah, they're embarrassed.
Yeah, for sure. Peter White is in the house. What's happening, Peter White? Kraft Extra Creamy is the best peanut butter. I'm more of a chunky.
Oh no.
Peanut butter.
What?
Chunky peanut. Do you
No.
Oh well, then you're not gonna like the stuff from Hell's Kitchen.
I like all peanut butter, but I don't think it's best.
Oh, you were that offended by that? I think it's the best.
Chunky is better than
This man takes his peanut butter very seriously, apparently.
So I'm curious. I honestly have no idea what Peter White is talking about. Love your rabbit costume. It's awesome. But more importantly, what is a like the extra? Can you scroll up? I want to see that again. Extra creamy. I'm assuming it's like blended and like air entrained in the peanut butter, so it's like really light.
It sounds like it could be something very, very disturbing.
Just leave it alone.
So
leave it alone.
we'll just leave it alone. Laura says I'm a fan of free peanut butter, whatever they have at work.
You know what?
I mean,
one of the coolest things we've discovered over the last year is there's other bourbon channels out there like Laura and others.
Yep.
And we send samples back and forth. Mm-hmm. We need to start getting a peanut butter thing going back and forth.
Hell's Kitchen wins.
Oh, well, no,
Hell's
but we
Kitchen
need
wins,
to
I
try
guarantee
others. Like, I mean, yes, we have access to Jif and Skippy everywhere, but
Yeah.
I also have this other weird almond butter right now that is
Almond butter's not bad.
I'll
fire up some almond butter.
It's totally different, but also awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh my Lord. Do you know what I got this is probably a month ago now.
I have no idea. Let's try your Cano.
You want to try the weird rye? Okay. So let me tell you about this first.
Okay.
Well, here, you can start pouring.
You sure? Mm-hmm. I feel like Elmer Fudd,
So-
like trying to get Bugs Bunny's attention or something.
Have you ever had cookie butter? Cookie butter.
What do they just put cookies in a blender?
Okay, so you know the little Biscoff cookies that you get on like Delta flights that are like a ginger sort of cookie?
Yes.
They make that brand in butter form.
What does that even mean?
It's like peanut butter, but it's Biscoff cookie butter. So it's like the peanut consistency of peanut butter, but it tastes like that stuff. And at World Market, they sell the crunchy version of that, which they have just smashed ground up cookies in it. Dude, you put that on toast. It is a bad mother. Shut your mouth. Put it on toast. You put it on whatever you want. Yeah. You can put it anywhere.
That's what she said.
All right. I am borderline nervous about this. I don't know why.
Okay, so read the specs.
Because that malted
I didn't bring my glasses,
wasn't
so I can't
bad.
read it. But
okay, so it is.
It's a rye, right?
85 proof. I don't think I've ever had an 85 proof whiskey.
Okay, we need some math done here. 444 proof plus 85 proof.
That's a lot of proof. Proudly crafted in Nashville. Proudly mashed, distilled, and bottled.
The one in Tennessee, not the other one.
Yeah, it doesn't really say much. It just says Corsair Dark Rye, Malted Rye, and Chocolate Rye. So I'm assuming it's a blend.
Early Times Bottom Bond used to be peanut buttery. However, it's no longer a Beam product. It's now a...
It was Brown-Forman.
Well, Brown-Forman. But now it's a Sazerac product, right?
Well, I don't think the Sazerac juice is out yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Let's see, note to self, disregard RJ's tasting notes. I don't get peanut butter at all with her. I don't either, to be honest. I get just like a really good cherry, some banana, molasses, brown sugar, and oak. Hangin' AZ is in the house. What's up, Hangin'?
So, OG, there are two totally different things that are called ryes. One is the like 51% rye, high 40s corn, and it's a lot like a bourbon. Like the Wild Turkey ryes are like that.
Yeah.
Then there's the stuff like this. I think this one. No, this one's probably pretty low.
That's probably a baby rye too.
So, but then
Stella is probably higher.
So then there's some that are like 95% rye and 5% malted barley, no corn at all, or maybe a tiny percent of rye. Those are so different. So the low rye bourbon or low rye ryes are very bourbon-like, but the 100% rye or 95% rye or whatever, good but quite different.
Oh, Dennis Weedman is in the house. What's up, Dennis? The Biscoff cookie butter is insane. I totally agree. Have you had the crunchy version? I haven't had the smooth version, but the crunchy version is just off the chain.
You know what? We're almost to the point where we're coming full circle.
What?
So a couple of months ago, we started on one of our live streams talking about junk food.
Okay.
And now we've been talking with other YouTube channels, and we're sending bourbons and whiskeys back and forth between channels.
We'll be sending
cookie
butter and peanut butter?
We're about to start sending junk food back and forth. That is regionally specific.
Well, I think the best way to go about that is to talk to our friends from Canada. Peter White, we're looking your way.
This is good.
Whiskey Juice is asking, have you been seeing the Elijah Craig C923 around the Twin Cities? So I did get my bottle in the northern...
You know, we should go to a video clip and show what everybody else thinks of it, actually.
You know what, you're right. I am getting notification in the headset that there is another channel.
There seems to be, whenever you mention that particular bottle, you have to play one of these video clips.
Yeah. So, but to answer your question real quick before we go to the clip here, I only saw it the day that I found it, and when I found it, I was literally in the store filming a bourbon hunting video, and the guy came up and set it on the shelf. Didn't even have a price tag
And all
yet.
of a sudden, the sky went dark. There was a single star in the sky that shined right on that bottle.
On that one bottle, because
angels singing.
It is obviously, according to everyone on WhiskeyTube, the greatest whiskey that's ever existed. So as Greg said, we do have another channel that is going live right now. They are currently talking about Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923. Let's drop in and just get a snippet of what they're saying. Here's the clip. Man, other channels are really loving that bottle.
You know, that was a tad explicit. I apologize just a little bit for that video clip. They may show a tad more sponge than was necessary.
Less sponge, more Bob. Let's see. Oh, Dr. Robert is here. What's up, Dr. Robert? Oh, hey, by the way, I've been meaning to tell you I really appreciated the scissors in the last batch of samples you sent us. That was awesome. Dr. Robert sent us some samples a little while ago, and he included a scissors in the box because last time I had such a hard time getting it open.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I do use those scissors on a regular basis. They are now part of the kitchen junk drawer here at the Walker household, and we appreciate it very much. So
that's hilarious.
But he says, I guess if that C923 ever does show up in New York, I'm going to need gloves on to buy a bottle. Yeah, you have to put the white gloves on and haul it out of the store like the Lombardi trophy.
That's right. I thought it was Stanley Cup they did that.
I think they do that too as well. Huh. Do you want to know something weird about the Stanley Cup that I heard?
Not even a little.
I think you're going to want to hear this.
Okay.
Apparently, when a team wins the Stanley Cup, like the hockey team gets to actually take the Stanley Cup. There's like the Stanley Cup that they just pass around.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, and I've heard this is true, everybody on the team gets like one night with it to do whatever they want. Like they just get to do whatever they want with it. I think that's why they use gloves when they hold it.
I mean,
because I imagine when you're riding high off a Stanley Cup victory and you get one night alone with the trophy.
We are talking about hockey players.
Well, that's true. Don't underestimate. Jack, J-A-C, all caps, is in the house.
J.
Alex Burrier.
You're not allowed to say what you just said in public. Nobody talks about 13th Colony.
Yeah.
We're just going to ignore it, leave it alone.
So good. Troy and Laura just did a review of that.
And they're communists and weirdos, and we just don't listen to them ever.
Don't listen to them. Stop buying the 13th Colony 00, for the love of God. It's terrible.
It's horrible.
Nobody
I want to buy all of it, but I can't
by the way,
even get any of it.
Let's get into this. What are you getting from this?
I think it's great.
Okay, Greg's clearly had too much to drink.
Clearly had too much to drink.
Because I wouldn't go great. You know what I'm getting? This almost is coming off as scotchy.
I'm getting a little bit of a...
like that apple note, pears. No. And there's almost a little medicinal.
It smells a little bit like Fat Bastard.
The character or... Oh, I'm thinking of... what am I thinking of? Not Fat Bastard. I don't know. Whiskey Juice, are you in Minnesota? I'm assuming that you are since you asked about the Twin Cities. And you're talking to Bike Riding Brian Vaughn, who is also from Minnesota. What did Jazz? Cheers all, I'm driving but listening in. Well, thank you, Jack. We appreciate that. Ryan Frank is also driving and listening in.
Ryan the Frank. Yeah, if only I...
Okay, awesome, Whiskey Juice. That's cool. We always love it when we get more Minnesota folks.
So Baker Drinks, I bought one like a month ago. It's still not here.
Well, I think she said if I can only get a bottle of the 13th Colony. They drank a sample, so they didn't actually have a bottle of the 00.
Well, yeah, so 13th Colony sent us a sample. We tried it, and it is great. It's Whiskey of the Year. But then I bought a bottle of the regular, which I also thought was great, and it's still not here yet. Eventually.
This is coming across as peated. In a weird way. Not like the smoky, but that medicinal vibe is really present.
What I'm getting is I'm going to contradict everything I've ever said for the last 3 years. You could convince me this is pot stilled.
Yeah.
But I don't get the negative flavor. I just notice it.
So it's one of those things where, well, we've had different whiskeys where, like I've said before, like you get like that youthy grain note, but sometimes that note works. It actually complements the other flavors and works well. And then sometimes it just doesn't.
Admittedly, the Evan Williams 1783 pour was a little bit heavy before he got over here, and then bent over poured. So...
Oh, Alex is Canadian. Hold on, let's see.
Alex?
I'm Canadian, and you guys are roughly 5 hours south of me. Good Lord.
Well,
I'm on the International Falls border. Oh, I'm sorry. I mistook that for 5 hours, Minnesota being 5 hours south of you. I was like, it's a long ways north, but International Falls is still pretty far north. Well, you're up by, I think Peter White is up in that area.
He's not Europe. He's in Canada.
All right, you get one for that.
But
the boys from the other Buffalo are going international.
First of all, the boys from the other Buffalo are a boy and a girl.
Yeah, that's true, from the other Buffalo. Now I'm getting the chocolate from this.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Tastes like artificial chocolate. Like, it reminds me of like...
So lug nut, you've had both the regular bourbon and the, is it double bourbon or the double barreled?
The 13th Colony?
You know, it's really hard to talk on the internet.
Do you think it has anything to do with the 500 proof blend?
444 proof.
What were you drinking when you came over here?
1783, 90 proof.
Okay.
So I'm well over 600 proof at this point.
Yeah. Oh, Peter would know 35 minutes over the New York border.
Well, it depends on how you drive.
I knew you were from Canada,
it depends
Peter
on
White.
how you drive.
Yeah, no kidding. Just take a right and then take a left.
Yeah, if you're seeing white bears, you're going the wrong way.
Okay, hold on a second. Steve Joes. Off topic, but before I forget, did I send you guys a sample of Joseph Made a Cigar Blend Batch 90 or Stay Junior Batch 15? I've got some samples I'm putting together for y'all.
as we say in Texas. Wait, Steve, I thought you were out in California.
He is in California.
No, you didn't send samples of the Cigar Blend or the Stag Junior Batch
Not those
15.
particular ones.
But I actually have a bottle of Stag Junior Batch 15. But you're still welcome to send it if you want.
Do you really have 15? I have 18, I think.
Yeah, the one I have is, I think you have, yeah, I think it's...
I think 18? I think is what I have.
Yeah, the one I have is 15. I think it's 131 and some change. Peter and I are in the same province, but 23 hours away from each other. Yeah, that's how they do it in Canada.
Yeah, it's just because you guys drive slow. I mean, maybe he just rides a wagon. He's a Mennonite and 2 horses and a wagon.
Could be.
You know.
Okay, I will send anyway. No need to open yours. No, mine's open. It's halfway gone. That's why you can definitely send it, because mine's halfway gone.
So, who says that?
But I do have it, Peter.
Whiskey
So if
juice.
you only have a little bit left, don't worry about it.
Can you click on this comment?
On what comment?
That one, down one, that one. Up.
This one?
That one.
That Four Roses Small Batch is one of the most underrated bourbons on shelves. It's a fantastic bourbon.
I
Totally
love
agree.
this bourbon.
Yeah.
I've heard other people complain about how it's not the greatest. I tend to think it's one of the greatest. It just,
Do people say that that's not good? I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say
I've never
it.
heard anyone say it's bad, but some people say it's just okay.
And the best part is this wasn't around for a while. This is everywhere. Every liquor store in Minnesota
In
basically
Minnesota now
has
it is.
this. Let us know in the comments. Do you guys get the Four Roses Small Batch Select in your area?
Yeah, whiskey is also hard to find around certain places.
Bike Riding Brian Vaughn says, Juice Truth, great bottle. Whiskey juice.
Oh, I think we have another video. Another channel is going live.
Oh, you know, we
review.
do. We want to make sure we get all of these.
Evan
That's
Williams.
right. They are mentioning in the headset here. We do have one last clip. We probably only got one more before we head out of here. But we're going to check in. We've been going through, checking in with a bunch of different channels that are also live right now reviewing Elijah Craig C923 Barrel Proof. Let's see what this channel has to say about it.
That is gotta hurt.
Yeah. I don't for the Stormtrooper or the bottle. I don't know which one.
That's disturbing on multiple
There
levels.
seems to be, I'm picking up on there seems to be generally
There seems to be a theme.
A theme here where if you review Elijah Craig C923, you just have to hump it.
You just it seems to be that's the appropriate response, and unfortunately I didn't play ball that day.
Yeah, apparently we're just in the wrong here. And we could, before the live stream goes over, we could check back in with some of the channels we've checked into before. But, we'll...
Let's see who else has comments.
Jerry Hernandez, that's a new name to the chat that I don't recognize. Welcome, Jerry.
Well, I'm sure Jerry's had that name for a while.
Jesus Christ. Four Roses Small Batch is always on the shelves.
Yeah, small batch, yeah.
Burb gods, yes, I agree. Jerry, are you in Minnesota or are you somewhere else that always has it? Ron, by the way, the world of whiskey's best non-Kentucky bourbon, the Representative. How did they name that the best non-Kentucky bourbon?
I don't even know what that is.
I fell for the neck tag and took the plunge. I've never had that. They've got the Representative and the Senator. Is that like MGP juice? I can't remember who makes that.
Huh.
I generally almost, if it says won double gold at the San Francisco World Spirits thing, it's going to be garbage. Because that's like the participation trophy. But then if it wins best in show, dude, there are some whiskeys that are straight up butt juice that have gotten double gold. And I don't know who the hell
double gold is the bottom.
It's the participation trophy.
12 gold is when it starts to get okay. 31 platinum is only tolerable. And infinite number of diamonds, those are pretty good.
Oh, Jerry's in Illinois. Okay. Bike riding Brian
Sacramento,
Vaughn.
Illinois? I don't think so.
Just picked up the Ryder Cup Elijah Craig at Liquor Boy. What did you pay for that, Brian?
Oh, wow.
Holy jeez. Elevated Wine and Spirits has Four Roses single barrel proof store picks now available. I've never been able to get a hold of one of those, but I will say this. There have been a handful of stores in the metro that have been popping up with those.
Of which ones?
the single barrel proofs, like the OBSK or OESK or the ones that are super hard to get.
I've never seen one in my life. Well,
I haven't either.
At a tasting, I had one and it was great.
But Sean's had a couple of them that I've tasted. But there's been a handful of stores that have been getting those, so hopefully those are starting to maybe make their way into, kind of becoming the norm, hopefully. 144 for the Ryder Cup. Good Lord.
Brian, you had an opportunity to be really funny with your comment and you chose not to.
You dumb bastard.
I'm sorry I had to give you crap.
No, you could have said something like, you know what, he wanted to take 6 pictures of my feet and I was okay with it.
I don't even, what?
What the hell?
Just go with
Are
that
you drunk? No, not really. Not yet.
I just... again, can somebody check on Sugar Kitty? It's not like him to miss a live stream. We just want to make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
So I think the going rate for the Ryder Cup, Elijah Craig, is actually pretty expensive. 6 photos. 6 feet pictures. That's how much that usually sells for.
Oh, that's disturbing in so many ways.
Okay. But isn't that one just the same 94 proof like the Toasted Barrel? It's just a different, it's like French or European oak because it's the Ryder Cup. So I think in golf that's like the US versus Europe. So they made a Toasted Barrel where instead of just doing like another Toasted Barrel, they did a Toasted
French oak or something?
European oak of some sort to do like the American.
Yeah, it tastes like frogs.
Baguettes, wine, and cheese.
Well, wait a minute. Now you're talking. That's 2 of my favorite flavors.
Oh, there's bike riding Brian Vaughn, and we have non-bike riding Dave Vogel saying, running a bit late due to an appointment for one of my pups. Well, I hope the pup is okay.
Hopefully the pup is doing
well. Oh, it's Italian oak. Okay.
Italian oak.
So it tastes like spaghetti.
Did you know they had trees in Italy?
They have beautiful trees in Italy.
Really?
Yeah, have you ever seen umbrella pines before?
No.
They're really cool. They're like pine trees, but they grow up and then they just have like a canopy like on the top.
Like an umbrella?
Yeah, umbrella pines. Yeah, they're really cool. So we have more, we've got like the most people in the chat right now.
We should keep going.
Then we can keep going. Then we've had for the whole show.
Oh, we should redo the start.
Places everyone.
Places everyone.
No, so here's what I'm going to say, because I actually do have a real clip of the blending episode.
Oh, you do?
Of just like a minute-long clip of like what we were doing here.
Okay.
So we could play that just for the sake of doing it.
Well, let's play it for the sake of it.
So here's what we did tonight. On our Patreon, we have a show, like a regular thing, where I'll do a little wheel, spin a wheel, that has 2, 3, and 4 on it, and whatever number I get, that's how many bourbons I'm picking. And then I have my entire bourbon collection uploaded to that same thing, spin the wheel, and if I get 4, for example, then I'll pick 4 bourbons off of the wheel, totally at random, blend them all together, and taste them.
Sugar Kitty!
Oh, there he is!
Sugar Kitty, honestly, we're going to be assigning homework at this point.
Yeah,
you need to go back and watch the beginning of this clip. We expected you to be here, and you weren't here. We did this all for you, and it was all for nothing.
We were just going to send some people over there to do a wellness check because we didn't see you in the chat. So we got a little bit worried about you. So anyway, so let me play this clip real quick because that's what we did tonight. We did a live version of the blending episode, and so what we usually do, and this is actually the real one, it's not the Mac and Me one. I did actually make a real blending clip, you can see. But it's only like, it's 34 seconds long.
Okay, you'll survive.
But anyway, what we do is we spin the wheel, figure out the quantity, and then whatever the quantity is, we spin the wheel that many times. Whatever bourbons come up out of the 135 or whatever that are on there, that's what we blend. The last one that I did was 1 great bourbon and 1 terrible bourbon. So here's just a clip. So, I don't know that I'm particularly looking forward to this particular blend. The Larceny A122 is great. The Oregon Spirit Bottled in Bond is weird. So I'm going to do a ½ ounce each one of these just to make a 1 ounce pour, because I have a sneaking suspicion that I might not like this blend. Let's not delay this any further. Cheers. So if you've ever had this, let me know. But yeah, I would recommend keeping it out of your Larceny barrel proof. So there's that. So that was just a 30-second clip of like a 5-minute video. But yeah, I'm trying to do those like once a week. The last week I didn't have one out, but I'm going to try to keep that up once a week. But it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Because it's totally random every time. So that's on our Patreon only thing. You also get the videos early, so if you want to check out the Patreon, check it out. There's a link in the description. All right, enough of being a whore here trying to sell our Patreon. Let's see.
Everybody's saying hi. I have a stick, brother. Thank you.
Needed a long talk. Well, hey, man, we hope that that he gets better. That's terrible.
Oh.
Very sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear about that.
They were whining that you weren't here. We were whining that Sugar Kitty wasn't here.
We expected
I love
it,
having
but...
Sugar Kitty in the house. All right, they're throwing some serious meows up. Well, yeah, we hope your brother gets better, Sugar Kitty.
Yeah, totally.
So...
Do you think he's like another kind of cat?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe he's an opossum.
I don't think that's in the cat family.
Well, you don't know.
You know what? Let's just polish this off. It's 85 proof.
It's 85 proof.
Want some more of this?
Yeah, no, not really.
Drink it and you'll like it.
So for those just joining us, we have two things going on. We're obviously doing the blend video, and now we've introduced this can of something that Ben will read the specs of. But we're also checking in on other videos. There's a bunch of channels that have gone live tonight, and they're doing the Elijah Craig C923 review.
Yeah.
And we feel like we're being ostracized because our review, our opinion
wasn't as glowing as everyone else's.
Wasn't as glowing as everyone else. So we're going to show you another channel, what they're doing right now, live, their opinion of the C923, which we liked, by the way, but maybe not as much as some of these people. So here's one of those videos.
Let's drop in, maybe somebody else is reviewing it right now who really likes it like the rest of the internet. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
I'd say that they're a fan, probably.
You know, I think they liked that a tad more than we did.
Yeah,
I
just
don't
a little
remember ever having sponge considerations during that review.
Yeah, for sure. Mr.
Opossum marsupial, not even close. Oh, Sugar Kitty, Sugar Kitty, Sugar Kitty.
Leave it to Sugar Kitty to have the info immediately on that.
Well, of course he knows what a marsupial is. I mean, everybody does.
What does that say? What Sugar Kitty's Mr. Hosmos? Or is that supposed to be Hose Moose?
What's C923 gate?
Hose Moose. Sugar Kitty, I don't think he was twerking. He was just straight up pounding that. That's what was going on there.
You know, I'm guessing you're, well, I'll be nice. I was going to say something.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say something about your experience with cartoon fornication is maybe more than the rest of us, but that may or may not be true.
Well, it didn't have anything to do with cartoons, but I was actually going to go solo tonight, right? So, and I didn't really know what I was doing, so I did Google how to live stream a solo video, and I found a lot of videos, but they weren't whiskey related. Incidentally, what they were doing,
a lot of feet.
What they were doing in that video
That's why you're not wearing pants.
No, well, there's that, yeah. What they were doing in that video was essentially what everyone on the Whiskey Tube is doing to Elijah Craig C923. And yes, I am not wearing pants.
The size of the testicle sack makes it impossible for me to wear a normal set of trousers.
There you go.
Hoose rhymes with moose or caboose.
Like Canadian, eh? Hoose rhymes with moose or okay. Hoose moose. I liked hose moose.
Hose moose.
That's going to be my username on a different website. Good old hose moose is in the house. Beware his moose-like hose.
You're such a hoser.
All right, let's check back in with another Whiskey Tube review of Elijah Craig C923.
You know, the weird part is this one is actually a Star Wars channel that is so interested in this particular whiskey
Yeah.
They've decided to jump in and do a review of the C923.
Let's
Now, we loved it, but not this much.
let's take a look. Ah, boy, people are just really into it. Good Lord, here's another one.
You know, I used to call myself a dog fan, but yeah, I don't know.
What about a Elijah Craig C923 fan?
Nah, it's okay, but it's just not my flavor profile.
Well, you know, I mean, I think it's my flavor profile. It just,
You know, it's just like
I said I loved it. It just was a little bitter on the finish and tannic. I don't know why people
like
are so mad about
opinion,
that.
man.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. This is starting to get weird. Like, this is actually not terrible.
It's not the worst thing ever.
Yeah. So that's two
It's not
Corsairs
Elijah
in a
Craig
row. That,
C923 bad. Kidding. Too soon?
oh, by the way, we do have another clip from a previous video. We did talk about Texas whiskey earlier in this live stream, and in case you missed our last live stream, Greg and I do have kind of like a general, you know, well, you know our opinion on Texas whiskey, but here is a live stream or a live clip of every time Greg and I do a review of Texas whiskey.
Yes.
Drink it. Remember this. And promise yourself never to taste it again. You're right, it tastes like shit.
All right, Ron, I hope you are still in the chat.
Yeah.
And I want to see a recreation of that video. Because,
Let's see. Scares me you have this humping program. I will tell you what. It's almost embarrassing the amount of time I spent looking up hump videos today to make these clips.
you know, I hope you use private mode because
I mean,
otherwise...
not to make these clips. I mean, to just look up to where to go find these live reviews from other whiskey reviewers.
Ben's internet history today was a little bit out of character, and he's going to have to...
And then I started looking up those videos.
And then he's going to have to live this down. Let's just...
Let's see. Whiskey Juice says, what are you guys going back to for favorite bourbon picks? You mean just like our favorite general bourbons?
I think right now, like, I mean, any of these on this list, you know what? I would go Stella. I need to get away from this. This can of enthusiast whiskey is meh. It's not horrible.
I don't even know if it's enthusiast whiskey.
I don't know what
Ben was in hump mode for a whole afternoon. Too much information.
That's what she said.
So Jerry says, y'all making C923 jump over KOK secondary.
What's KOK?
I don't know what KOK is.
I don't know what that means.
Jump over
King of Kentucky.
King of Kentucky, I bet. Yeah.
Which I've not had one in 2 years. I've only had Conviction.
Okay, Sarah, careful what letter you end that with.
Conviction? Or
Conviction?
No.
We had a Conviction, the store pick from those bourbon guys and Storytime.
No. King of Kentucky.
We've never had that.
I had Old Owl, which I think is the same company.
Old Owl?
Owl something.
Kentucky Owl?
Kentucky Owl. There it is. Old Owl. Yeah. Sorry, I'm bourbon number 4.
Boy, that...
I'm going to need some little bit of grace.
That took a little while to get there.
That's
Not
what
yet,
she
but I'm
said.
working on it.
Are you sure? OG, my favorite for the money is Maker's 46 Cask. Dude, we just did a review of that. It's so good. And I got a bottle of it for $40 at Costco.
Okay, another reference to Green River.
We have something from Green River, a sample was that from Dr. Robert, maybe? It was one from a while ago. All my samples got mixed up when I had to remove the bar from the basement because of the water damage, so I have to go back, because some of those came with like a legend. It was just labeled A, B, C, and D, and then it had like on a piece of paper, A is this, B, so I have to... Old Wise Owl is the shits. LOL. Is that good?
I don't know if I've never even seen Old Wise Owl.
Well, there's Old Wiseman, which is the lower tier from Kentucky Owl, so maybe he's making a... King of Kentucky is made by Brown-Forman. Well, then I'm definitely interested. If anybody has any King of Kentucky.
I bought a...
Greg's address is...
What did I buy? A Kentucky Owl. It was a tad overpriced, I think, at $115.
No, that's about average. They're north of 100, or around 100.
It was decent, but not great. Like a lot of our episodes, to be honest.
Decent is even pretty generous, to be honest.
Well, Sugar Kitty's finally here. And Dr. Robert's finally here. So
so it probably was from Dr. Robert. So we do still have a couple of those samples.
Yeah.
We are kind of backed up on samples right now, which is a good problem to have. But we also buy bourbon, too. And then we usually like to uncork the bourbon on a review because the neck pour is bullshit. There, I said it. Just lost 100 more subscribers. So we do fresh pop, cork pop reviews a lot of times.
We just cork pop that at the beginning of this video.
Yeah. And so whenever we buy a new bottle, I'll buy a new bottle like, hey, Greg, we got to do a review because I really want to get into this. I want it open for the weekend so I can drink it.
Like, we'll be like, all right, at the finished reviewing, done filming, Ben says, all right, I got to stop buying bourbon for like 3 weeks. And
it never happens.
The next day, Ben says, all right, I need you to come over here. I got a bourbon I need to open for the weekend.
Damn it, I did it again.
We got to film this bottle of Old Tub or whatever.
I have absolutely no self-control whatsoever.
Yeah, ginger. The ginger comes through.
Come home. Come slamming through with the bourbons every time.
King of Kentucky is like a $2,000 thing. I like bourbon a lot, but I have a hard time finding any value of stuff over $100 compared to, there's so many good things in the $50 to $100 range.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we've had a few unicorns and they're good, but King of Kentucky, I don't know if I'd spend it.
$2,000? Hell no.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't spend $2,000 on anything.
Yeah. Maybe a $2,000 bill.
I generally won't pay secondary prices on anything, just as a general principle, because, like, if I go into a liquor store and they have something I really want, but it's $100 more.
Yeah. All you're doing is making a boat payment for that idiot.
Right. Then again, I kind of also, I have wrestled with this, where it's like, well, if it's something I really want, it's not that it's not worth paying the money for me. It's that I just don't want to give this prick an extra $100.
Exactly.
That's it.
Here, let me hand you a $100 bill and walk out with no remuneration.
I have seen online Blanton's straight from the barrel, cask strength Blanton's, for $230.
Oh wow!
It retails for $150.
It's bad, by the way.
I've heard it's amazing.
It's horrible.
You've never had it before, have you?
Okay.
Now, I mean, you paid, what for the $200 and then damn near $230 with tax for the Joseph Magnus, right?
Yeah, something like that.
If they'd had Blanton's straight from the barrel cask strength there, I might pay that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
so I've not actually heard a lot about it.
I wouldn't pay secondary for regular Blanton's, I wouldn't pay $500 for it.
I have very negative opinion of Blanton's. Now, I don't think it's a bad bourbon. I think it's a $40 bourbon in a fancy bottle should command $60 to $65.
Yeah.
Anything above that, now that I own
it's usually $75 around here if you get it for retails.
At the current price, it's overpriced. And
I'll pay $75 for it.
Anything over that is somebody who just doesn't know better.
Or just really wants it, I guess. But, I mean, something like I kind of felt like, I would assume Blanton straight from the barrel would go for like $500, $600, $700. I was amazed at seeing it. Okay, so regular Blanton's is around $70, give or take, right?
Sure.
They sell that for $150, $200. So the amount percentage-wise that gets marked up versus the straight from the barrel, which is marked up.
Was it like 120, 125
It's 150 retail. It's marked up to 230.
Proof.
So something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Just depends on what the barrel is.
You would expect the price to be not quite double, but in that range.
But the point is regular Blanton's is marked up like 300%. Whereas Blanton straight from the barrel is marked up like 80%. That's what I was kind of looking at. Don't question my math on that. I mean, question it all you want, but don't hold it against me because I know it's going to be wrong. Well, we should probably wrap this up. The new 2XO is worth a look.
I want to get the new 2XO that's like the $50 one. They have a new release that's like a cheaper
Phoenix
one.
blend one.
Yeah, it was all right.
And it was fine.
I don't know if it was $100.
Yeah. Like,
you know.
I don't know if I'd buy another one.
But there is a whiskey out there that everyone seems to love and would pay any amount of money for.
Infinite money plus $1.
It is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923, and here's a clip of the other channels on WhiskeyTube reviewing this bottle. Let's take a look.
Okay. You know, in truth,
Boy, it's really
I just don't think I had that reaction.
just inappropriate.
Yeah, like I think maybe they need to be a little bit more objective in the review.
Yeah. Walked out of a store asking $140 for Blanton's. Yeah, I'd walk out of that store too.
Yeah. Did you make? Did you make fun of his kids?
I went into a
That's the
store
important part.
a couple weeks ago. They had regular Buffalo Trace for $70, $80. I think it was $70 or $80.
You know,
and they had Eagle Rare for $200.
We need to know.
I think it was $70.
Okay.
I have a picture of it.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they had Eagle Rare for $200. It's like, okay, I'm not. I was going there to do a bourbon hunting video. I'm like, I'm not even bothering.
At that point, you need to make fun of the owner or the manager or whatever, whatever it is.
All right, so we're going to end this here. But before we do have one more video of another WhiskeyTube reviewer's review of Elijah Craig's C923. Let's see what they're saying about it. Boy, people are really into that bottle, Greg.
They're enthusiasts.
I mean, some people are really like legitimately into the bottle.
I think they lost the subjective nature of their channel. They're like so into it that they've forgotten where the higher calling is when it comes to bourbon reviewing.
You know what? We've got one more before we head out here. Let's check this one out. All right, with that being said and done.
You know, I'm reluctant to ask this question, but I'm wondering what your Google search is to get to that video clip.
OG Brick says, always enjoy the content, thank you. Literally, it was just a lot of green screen humping. So I had to get like green screen videos of whatever, you know, I had like green screen dog humping, green screen leg humping. And I did that for all of you just to do this normally Patreon-only blending experience. So yeah, if you want to check out the Patreon, there's bonus content there. Get the videos early. Tomorrow is Larceny Barrel Proof Batch C923.
$400 for a blends in Plymouth. The one in Minnesota is similarly.
That is ridiculous.
Massive.
Oh, hey, Brian, bike riding Brian Vaughn. Is that the one right over by the movie theaters? It's called like Jim's Liquor. It's like a little store. I went in there like a year ago and they had E.H. Taylor Small Batch and Eagle Rare both for $200. I'm guessing it's that one. The one like behind Kobe, the restaurant.
Oh, really? I've never been in that one.
Don't bother going to it.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's dog shit. So I want to hear from Brian if that was the store before we head out here. $300 for Blanton's in Myrtle Beach. Good Lord.
South Carolina.
Myrtle Beach. Let's see. Sugar K says, well, gee, what a great time tonight on the stream. Glad I showed up. We're glad you showed up too, Sugar Kitty.
Glad you came. And we want to wish the absolute best of healing and recovery to your possum brother.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely. All right, but oh yeah, Brian Vaughn says, yes, it is that store. Yeah, don't shop there. Don't bother. If you're in Plymouth, don't bother with that one. All right, folks. Well, thank you guys very, very much for hopping into the chat. Go check out the Bourbon Note regular page. Like, comment, subscribe. And check out the Patreons. Patreon.com/The Bourbon Note. Or just go to Patreon and search The Bourbon Note. There's some pretty fun bonus content there. And I think we got a Patreon-only stream that we're due for.
Yeah, I think
coming up here, too. Yeah. So maybe we'll do that on Friday or something.
Yeah, totally.
Busy, so. All right, folks. Well, thank you guys very much. Have a good night, everybody. Cheers.
Until next time.